Hello and welcome back. Can you believe it? We are on day 28. Seriously, take a second and just feel that. 28 days. That's incredible. Today, we are tackling probably one of the most important parts of this whole journey. How do you make all this hard work stick when real life, with all its messiness, comes knocking? Let's dive in. Because let's be honest, the true measure of success isn't what happens when everything's perfect in your own bedroom. No. The real test, well, that's just getting started. For the last 27 days, you've been so dedicated. You've built a routine, you've been consistent, and you've shown up for yourself. And the habits, they're starting to click, right? They're feeling more natural, you're sleeping better at home, and I really want you to know that is a massive, massive achievement. But then life happens. Suddenly there's a red-eye flight you have to catch. Or it's your best friend's wedding weekend and you're celebrating late into the night. Or a huge project at work just explodes your entire schedule. What then? Does everything you've built just vanish? And this really gets to the heart of it. The goal was never, ever to just sleep well inside some perfect little bubble. It's about building skills that are portable, skills that you can pack right up and take with you no matter where life leads. So, let's just tackle the biggest fear head on, shall we? So many of us have this idea that our new sleep routine is like a delicate house of cards. One little bump and the whole thing comes crashing down. Well, today, we are going to bust that myth wide open. This house of cards mindset is just so incredibly common. It's this all or nothing belief that your routine has to be followed perfectly or it's totally useless. But that thinking just sets you up for anxiety and failure. Because when is life ever perfect, right? It makes you feel like one disruption erases all your progress, but I promise you that is just not how it works. This is the mental shift we need to make. We're moving from myth to reality. Instead of thinking, my progress is fragile, know this. My skills are portable. Instead of, one bad night erases my work, remember, my body knows the cues. And get rid of, I must be perfect. Replace it with, I can adapt and recover. See the difference? We're ditching brittle rules for flexible, resilient principles. Okay, so how do we actually do that? We move from mindset into action. It's time to build your very own portable sleep kit, a set of go-to practical strategies for when your routine gets tossed into chaos. First thing you need are your anchors. These are the one or two core habits that you protect no matter what. For most of us, that's trying to wake up at roughly the same time, even if you got to bed late, and doing some kind of wind down, even a short one. These two things are like an anchor for your body clock. They signal stability even when everything else is up in the air. Now, obviously, you can't pack your entire bedroom, but you can pack the feeling of your routine. Think about it. What's the mini version that still tells your brain, hey, it's time to sleep? Maybe it's a little travel-sized lavender spray with that same scent you use at home. Or maybe it's just your noise-canceling headphones for a quick meditation. These small cues are way more powerful than you think. And here is your secret weapon, your universal key, the 15-minute rule. This thing is pure magic because it works anywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in a strange hotel bed or at your in-laws' house on a lumpy couch. If you are lying there, awake, and you feel that anxiety creeping in, get up. It stops that downward spiral of frustration no matter where you are on the planet. Okay, so here it is, your emergency plan. Go ahead and take a mental screenshot of this. When things feel like they're going off the rails, you've got 5 clear steps. You can do 4-7-8 breathing on an airplane, you can do progressive muscle relaxation in literally any bed, and maybe most importantly, you can give yourself permission to just rest. And please, please remember, one rough night cannot erase nearly a month of your hard work. So we have the practical tools, but now we have to talk about the most important piece of this whole puzzle, your mindset. Honestly, this is what makes the difference between a little hiccup and a total relapse. So how do we build up this mental resilience? First, just lower your expectations a bit. A decent night of sleep when you're traveling, that's a huge win. Second, plan your reentry. Decide now that the very first night you're back home, you're getting right back to your full routine. And finally, just acknowledge your biology. It is totally normal for your brain to be a little on high alert in a new place. That's an old survival instinct. Don't fight it. Just know it's there and that it will pass. And all of this, it leads us to the ultimate goal. The most important takeaway from today. It's a really simple but honestly profound shift in how you even define what success looks like. This is what real success looks like. If you only have time for a 10-minute wind down instead of your usual hour, that is not a failure. That is a victory of adaptation. Staying out late to celebrate something special isn't sabotage. It's just living your life. This kind of flexibility is the real sign of a strong, lasting skill. Let this be your new mantra. Say it with me. The goal isn't rigid perfection. It's sustainable resilience. Your ability to bend with the beautiful chaos of life without breaking, that is the real prize. That's what you've been building for 28 straight days. What you're doing here is not just following some temporary plan. You are building something that is going to last. Tomorrow, for day 29, we're going to slow things down a little and reflect with a practice of gratitude. I'll see you then. Rest well.